What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. We are diving into another bullet point for the upcoming Scream 5 spoilers. Now, again, this is a spoiler video, so if you want to click away, I completely understand. I'd appreciate you hitting the like button before you go. Helps out the channel, gets this out to people that don't mind spoilers, and I truly appreciate it. If you're somebody that's just coming in and haven't seen any of these other videos, I'm going over the various points of the spoilers that were leaked for the Scream 5 film. I made a video, I'll link it down in the description below, on all of the spoilers, but per request by many of you, you wanted me to go over the various topic points and give my opinion and have an overall discussion, so make sure you join it down in the comments below. If you're still here, hit that like button, helps me out a lot, lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, follow up with the bell notification so you never miss an upload, stay up to date with all things Scream, join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. So 3, 2, 1, okay, let's get into these spoilers. Alright everyone, this is the spoiler many of you have been waiting for, asking me to address in the comments. So I'm going to read it, that way we have an understanding, and then we will have our discussion. So let's get into it. Going into the final act, we're drip-fed suspicion that Sam could be Ghostface. The timing and the opportunity stacks, and then we get a slam dunk plot twist that her father is Hank Loomis. Hank Loomis is Sam's father. So this means she is Billy Loomis's sister, who was conceived shortly before the original murders, but their mother hid it to protect her. So first off, what a great plot twist. What a great sort of direction to go in this film. What a perfect tie to the classic. But going in order, before we get too excited here. So obviously it makes sense to perceive Sam as Ghostface given the ties. So I would assume that you're going to have this transition throughout the film pointing to Sam having some sort of involvement. To what degree, we do not know, but it makes sense because you have that sort of transgression and then boom, that leads into the plot twist of the century in which she is Billy Loomis's sister. And the timing matches up perfectly. She's supposed to be 24, 25 in this film. So everything matches up to be believable in regards to her being Billy's sister. Now, same point. Usually in Scream films, especially 96, they did this so great. And I would imagine it's going to be reprised in this Scream 5 film. But the idea that anybody could be Ghostface and every character having that moment in which it is sort of pushed in the direction of they could be Ghostface to kind of throw us off. Everybody's a red herring, so to speak. So it would make sense that they would do that in this film. Great example in 96 was even the sheriff with the boots, focusing on the boots, little subtle details to make you go, like, wait a minute. I would imagine they do the same thing in Scream 5. And then you have Sam as this red herring. She has ties to the past. Obviously, somebody who is Ghostface in this film is going to know about this. Because we know from the spoilers, if you're following along, their mother, Mrs. Carpenter, she is gone. She's missing. She's disappeared. They don't know where she is. She left for a business trip, and just like Neil Prescott, she's gone. So you're going to have that tie-in. Obviously, Ghostface probably got to her. I don't think he killed her because much like Neil, they kind of held on to them. So we probably won't see the mother, except for like maybe in the very beginning, and then most likely the end, in the final act. So obviously, whoever Ghostface really is knows about this past. Could Sam really be Ghostface? Absolutely. Realistically, though, I think that it's going to be a red herring that they transition into this twist, and then she will take over as the final girl. If you continue to follow on, again, be subscribed if you're not. There are some more spoiler points that sort of elaborate on this idea that she's not the red herring. She will actually transition into the final girl, which is a wonderful full circle moment because you have Billy, who was the Ghostface, who was the one to sort of, start this whole thing. His sister being the one that kind of carries on the legacy to end it and be the good ally, the good person, the hero, makes a ton of sense. Many of us thought the rumor was, myself included, was that Billy had a kid. Billy, it makes sense given the time gap that maybe he had a kid. I threw out ideas such as maybe it was with Sydney. There was a 2-year gap between 1 and 2, so timing lines up. Everything lined up perfectly. Myself, especially, never even thought Hank Loomis having a kid. I didn't hear anybody else mention it, so what a great plot point. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean somebody else couldn't have came up with the theory, but it's not one you really think of first, in my opinion. And it flows in perfectly because Hank Loomis, even his character bio, corrupt lawyer, he's a womanizer. It would be conceivable to think that he was sleeping around with more than just Maureen. Like, yeah, he was going out, stepping out with Maureen Prescott, but it's most likely that he had several girls that he was stepping out in. I'm the big lawyer, I'm the big shot, look at me type of thing. So that lines up perfectly. Again, Sam's character age lines up perfectly. So all the details, everything that you look for to like, is this true? All check up. Again, could they go another direction? Could this have been an original idea, but they changed it? Very possible. But I really think this is the twist of the film because it's a great homage to the classic. It's a great tie-in and full circle moment to the classic. It brings up characters and answers questions that we didn't have in the past films. What happened to Hank Loomis? Outside of Scream 1, we never heard anything about it. Is he alive? Is he dead? Is it whatever? Maybe Hank Loomis has ties to being Ghostface. If you want me to actually do like a Hank Loomis video, because I've done a couple, but not like spoilerish. So if you want me to do like a Hank Loomis spoilerish type video on different ideas and discussions that I think could happen, then please let me know down in the comments because I'd be more than happy to make that kind of video. Again, I've made Hank Loomis videos on this channel, but they haven't been spoilerish. They've just been, my personal ideas. But anyway, back to the main point is that I just think that this is a perfect full circle moment. It ties in and sets up Sam perfectly. From an audience standpoint and perspective, we immediately think our Ghostface. That is our Ghostface. That's immediate thought. She becomes the immediate red herring. Everything else sort of steps away. And then obviously she becomes the final girl and carries out. Whether Tara survives too or not, who knows? But I would think personally, I think Tara, Sam will be the new sort of Sydney and Gale. Perfect ties in. The connection to Sydney makes sense. So now you have a believable story to get Sydney back into Woodsboro. Billy Loomis is a huge tie. If her daughter is something, she might come in. Now you have that struggle between Sam, especially if Sydney finds out or Sydney knows about it. Now she's definitely like, wait a minute. So now you have that struggle and that tie and that push back and forth. That is said to be the case in this film. It is said that Sydney is not going to trust Sam Carpenter or even the Carpenters in general. It would make a ton of sense that she wouldn't trust them because she knows Billy has a sister. It flows perfectly. It makes this just a wonderful story. And now it sort of gives us an idea to start coming up with ways to narrow down our Ghostface. Because most likely, there's going to be 2 or more. One of those Ghostfaces, I can say with semi-confidence, again, we don't know this for sure, but I can say with semi-confidence that it's got to be an older character. I don't think they would go the Martha Meets direction. I don't think they would make any of the OG3 the killer. So really, that leaves Judy, unless there's a surprise character that we don't know about. But I could see Judy Hicks, because if Judy Hicks because she has the ties since the beginning, if they do make her the sort of mastermind behind the scenes this whole time, I don't know if she's been a ghost face the whole time. I think that she hasn't been. I think she's just been aware of everything the whole time. And this will be the first film that she takes on the ghost face guys. I think I could see that happening. Because it makes sense. And I get it. A lot of people are like, but it's too believable. Like, we already know that, but with this kind of twist, usually the Ghostface thing is the major twist. Usually, yeah, there might be some little sub points or things like that, but it's not like a huge revelation like this was. You can argue the Roman thing, but again, that was Ghostface at the end. This sounds like a mid-movie plot twist. This sounds like we're going to get an hour of all of this information, character development, setup, and then boom, we're going to get this twist, and that's going to transition the rest of the film. So we've never really had that to this degree in the past. All of the reveals and sort of twists have been at the end of the film. Now, you have that. You could have Judy be revealed at any point in this film because there's going to be more Ghostface outside of her, especially if she is a mastermind. It's very likely that there's 3. So then it becomes, who are the other Ghostface? Like, let's say they did an early reveal of Judy. Let's say they did a reveal first 5 minutes of the film. Now it becomes, okay, well, who are the other Ghostface? Is it Wes? That's the first thing people would think of, because if it's her kid or her cousin or whatever, family ties, it would make sense. But in all actuality, it might not be him. He could very well be a red herring, but it would make sense that he wouldn't be involved because he wasn't in Scream 4. So even if he was a kid, he was little, maybe he doesn't know what his mom's doing or his aunt's doing or whatever the case may be. So that doesn't mean he immediately has to be Ghostface. Maybe there's other ties to other people. Maybe it's the Meeks twins. Maybe Martha hasn't. Now you can start piecing together all this stuff, and it adds this level of confusion. Yeah, you know who one Ghostface is, but you know that there's more. We wouldn't even know if she's the one actually operating and actually killing people. We would just know that she has an involvement. So I would absolutely love to see something like that. And even if Wes is involved, that doesn't mean others can't be involved as well. So you have Wes as like this red herring. You could even have him be the reveal at the end and have, 2 other people or whatever. There's so many directions they can go. But now we have the basis to the story. Now we have the transition. And I just think the only way to really do this is to have ties to the past. It has to be a character that has been involved all this time to some degree, or have the knowledge and know-how. And if it's not Martha Meeks, it's not going to be the OG3. They're not going to, I don't personally think, I know I've explored the idea here on this channel, but I don't personally think that we're going to get a Martha Meeks or a OG3 killer reveal. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they'd go that direction. I think people would be too upset. People would riot. So I don't see that happening. But I could see a Judy Hicks. Judy Hicks makes the most sense to me. So I think realistically that will be the case. But overall, this is a great twist. I love the tie-ins. Again, it's a full circle moment. It makes that bloodline, that legacy of Billy Loomis now become the hero. And now you have this transition and a character that people can relate to, both new and old, to transition into this trilogy, because that's the idea, that they're planning another trilogy. So it makes sense that you have all these ties, all these full circle moments. So I'm personally really excited for this. Again, I know a lot of you were waiting for me to talk and give my opinions and points. If I think of any more information or any ideas that I want to sort of create around this, now that we all know this spoiler, then I'll absolutely make some more videos. But let me know what you think about the Hank video again. If you want to see something like that, let me know in the comments. Also, this is always a discussion, so I want to hear from you. What do you think? Are you excited for this reveal? Are you kind of like, it's kind of silly? I just like, last sort of point, is that I really enjoy that this is a twist that, yes, has ties to Sydney, but isn't a full-fledged involvement of Sydney, if that makes sense. Because every Scream film up to this point has been solely, the plot twist is around her and family or some ties. You had Mrs. Loomis, who was out for just good old-fashioned revenge, but you had the direct tie to Sydney because of Billy. You had Scream 3, Roman, her brother, like family. Scream 4, Jill, her niece, a perfect tie-in. It's nice to see a twist that is not directly like linked to Sydney, but it is, because Billy and everything that's happened, it makes sense. Ghostface attacks, all of that. It makes perfect sense that they would have this tie-in, but it's not pertaining to her solely, because that's always been the thing. It's always pertained to her. I mean, yeah, Scream 2, Mrs. Loomis wanted to kill Gail and Dewey, but she wanted Sydney. You know, if she would have killed Sydney and the other two survived, she probably would have just said, forget it, I'm done, like, that's it, and just went away. She wanted Sydney. Every Scream film it's been about Sydney being the target. So this is nice, but it's still enough to tie in Sydney to where it doesn't completely take her out of the film. I really enjoy that. But anyway, as I said, this is a discussion. I want to hear from you. So let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of the spoiler? Do you like the idea? Do you hate the idea? Do you have any theories or ideas and expansions? What kind of videos would you like me to kind of branch this off into now that we have this information? Please, as always, I say it in every video, take it with a grain of salt, because we don't know anything for sure, but I'm pretty confident that these spoilers are legit. But again, take it with a grain of salt. If you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, again, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. Stay up to date with all things Scream. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.